Hey guys, this is Camry15. I am back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with some more The Flash episode reviews. The Flash came back from its break, and I know this video was supposed to be uploaded yesterday, but I was busy yesterday because I was finishing up some stuff for college because I'm in my final year of college, and it's finals week for me. But yeah. This Flash episode was pretty interesting. I thought it was an alright episode. Did keep me pretty much intrigued. But essentially there's two different storylines going on here. The one storyline essentially pertains to the Killer Frost storyline. And then the other storyline revolves around Barry and Speedforce. So essentially, let's talk about the what is the Killer Frost storyline. Essentially what we remember coming back from break that she got arrested by Kramer and the other CCPD members. She's gonna be put on trial and potentially go to jail. Now, Caitlin's in jail because she says one of her fears is not having that person in her life that has always been a part of her life, essentially. So yeah, the thing is, what happens is they come to the conclusion that, you know, the way to do Killer Frost so she doesn't have to do any more dangerous things is the fact is we use the meta cure to take away her powers, essentially. Now the problem is with that is if that's the case, if they're gonna start, you know, arresting metas and then use the cure on them, who could say that they can arrest more dangerous metas and then just take their powers away? And it's not fair for them to have no say in taking the cure to lose their powers. It's essentially like this, you know, obviously the pandemic is a thing. Just say there was a law that if you weren't wearing your mask, you get arrested for it. I know people would probably flip out, but say if that was the case, and obviously the vaccine's out. Obviously, if you get arrested and you're not wearing the mask and you test and you obviously, you know, you never tested for the vaccine or you never were given the vaccine, and you're one of the people that don't want to have the vaccine because just for your own personal reasons, it's like you get arrested and they say, oh, for this reason, you're gonna have to take the vaccine because you're not vaccinated or something like that. Or I guess in a better sense of thing, people just come to your front door and be like, look, you're either gonna get arrested or you're taking this vaccine, whether you like it or not. So something similar like that. So yeah, this also obviously endangers, you know, metas around the world and stuff like that. Now, Caitlin tries to get Allegra and Cisco to try to break into CCPD's like little stronghold and be able to use this device to destroy all the samples and everything. So yeah, you get this emotional scene with Caitlin and Frost. Frost and Kramer do have a talk. Essentially, Frost asks Kramer, because, well, it's actually after this scene. Essentially, what happens is they get back to the trial. They say there's no vials left, but then lo and behold, Kramer's like, it's okay. We have vials right here because we got them from Argus. So that's when, like I was going, Frost and Kramer have a talk and essentially find out why Kramer wants to arrest Killer Frost. And it's probably one of the most stupidest reasons I've ever heard in my fucking life. Essentially, the reason why Kramer wants to arrest Killer Frost is because she was on patrol and her men got killed by a meta that she thought was a hero. Now, I thought this was gonna be like some lead into some big reveal of who it was, but they're making it sound off like it's just some meta human that just killed her platoon, essentially. And I'm like, that's not really a valid fucking reason to arrest Killer Frost. What does she have anything to do with it then? You're just going after Killer Frost? You're just going after Frost. You're just going after Frost because, oh, kicks and giggles, I'm just gonna go after Frost. You couldn't go after any other meta. Second of all, you couldn't get over it to begin with. I thought it was a bullshit reason to why she wants Frost to be arrested. I feel like the writers of the Flash could have just dropped this story point, to be honest. This should have been a non-existent story point, especially now revealing to the fact that Kramer is like, oh, I'm just doing this because some meta just killed my platoon. Instead of it being like, oh, Killer Frost actually killed a few members of my platoon when she went on her little rampage and stuff like that. So I don't know why they didn't do it that way, but okay. So what happens is at the end of the trial, when it looks like Killer Frost is gonna have to be forced to take the Metacure. They also do find out that the Metacure won't kill her, because that was another possibility too. And the thing, so what she later comes down to is Killer Frost is like, how about this? Instead of me taking the cure, I will go to jail for life and I won't be able to get out whatsoever, essentially. And the judge comes to a verdict and just like, okay, fine, let's do it, fine. So essentially all thanks to Kramer's bitch ass and her freaking vendetta against Metas because her little own platoon got killed. It's nothing, she's not at fault to blame. She essentially sends Killer Frost to jail because of her stupid vendetta. Her and freaking before she leaves, and then yeah, which I found so coincidental that it wasn't the outcome Kramer wanted, so she just leaves and gets out of town automatically. And I'm like, oh, when you don't get what you want, you're just gonna bail now. And Joe tells her like, look, essentially Joe's telling her like, look, you seem like you're a good cop, seem like you do your job good, but you might need to think about the actions you take before you do something. Essentially saying, if it's a BS reason to just say, oh, this meta killed my platoon, I'm gonna take it out on the metas by trying to arrest them. Like, just saying, like, have a better reason than doing that, and at least have some common sense to see that there are people that were around her that actually gave a damn and actually cared about her. And again, you know, the Frost hasn't done evil things in a long time and stuff like that. And technically the city's, you know, recognized her for her good too. So it's like, one, why not just drop all potential charges on her to begin with? So yeah, because of her going to jail, that forces all metas that get arrested not to be forced to take the cure. You see that one guy we saw I think a few seasons ago or something, like her friend or something like that. So yeah, so that's Killer Frost's story. I don't know if she'll ever come back, but I'm guessing whenever there's a major threat, I'm guessing they're like, look, we gotta let her out, whether we like it or not, even though she said she didn't want to, and that's maybe when they'll let her out. Now in terms of Speedforce in the Barry situation, they go find the person who is a Fuerza. It's just like this person at this, like, I guess you could say, this little community health facility. The Speedforce is really eager and it starts blaming her, and then it makes her be like all hostile and be like, okay, look, if you're gonna be like that, get out of my face. So Barry goes back as the Flash this time, manages to convince her to go to Star Labs to get tested on, because she says like, yeah, I haven't freaking experienced what I did like since it first happened, everything. And they do some tests, it almost comes out, and eventually they cool her down, but then the Speedforce actually turns and actually starts attacking the person, I forgot the name, but it starts attacking Fuerza in her human state. And essentially Barry and Iris are like, yo, what the hell are you doing? And essentially Speedforce is like, look, we need to kill this thing. This is a golden opportunity to kill this thing. It's gonna put me and you in jeopardy. We're getting rid of this thing right now. And Barry and Iris are like, look, we don't do things like that. And the Speedforce is like, well, too bad. So then she actually attacks Iris. Barry gets in the way, stops it with one of his lightning bolts, but it creates like some sort of mass contained ball of lightning. And the Speedforce is like, look, I'm sorry, Barry, but I gotta do what I gotta do to live. So she grabs it and then she throws at it, and I'm guessing the host, who was Fuerza, is dead now. So yeah, and look, we gotta think about it. The Speedforce, it isn't human like them, like Barry and Iris. Yes, it takes the form of a human on when it comes to the real world and shows itself. But the thing we got to remember, it's just a force. It's just essentially nature. And as nature intended, it's going to try to protect itself. So obviously it's not a living, being. Like, it's not human. So instinctively, the Speed Force is like, no, regardless what you humans say, I'm going to destroy this thing because in my best interest, it's going to kill me and it's going to take me out. And I can't allow that to happen. And that's where the episode ends off. So I thought it was a solid episode. Definitely, I don't know if this means the Speed Force is going to be a villain, but okay. It's just going to be something where you got to stop the Speed Force so it doesn't attack or kill any of the other forces, because these are innocent people she's killing and stuff like that. So yeah. Also, if you guys didn't know, Carlos and Tom Cavanaugh, sadly, and I mean sadly, are leaving The Flash. I think it's been confirmed that this is going to be their last season on The Flash. And that's huge. And we all know when Arrowverse shows start to lose their main cast members, it starts to essentially become the beginning of the end. Listen, I know with Carlos, there was always speculated when he would leave. Like, all over the time, I always read into the news, like, I always heard, like, oh, he's leaving next season, but he ends up staying next season. It seems like this time he's gonna be gone for good, sadly. So, do I think maybe if he wants to make a few appearances, even like Tom Cavanaugh, yeah, maybe for more special episodes and stuff like that down the road. I don't know how long The Flash will run. If it goes 10 seasons, I feel like I definitely could see them bringing them back and maybe the last few episodes of what I would consider the final season of Flash. Regardless, whatever the final season of Flash is, I feel like they're going to bring him back one last time because he was a main character from season 1 till this point in season 7. Tom Cavanaugh, I can understand why he left. His characters, the Wells characters kind of run its course, and stuff like that. And there's nothing really else to do with him other than him being, like, I guess the replacement Reverse Flash when the one dude from season 1 couldn't do it and stuff like that. But I feel like they mostly did this because they want to probably search in other future endeavors and stuff like that and do other things instead of just directly do the CW show. Obviously, too, you can say the actor that plays Chester, obviously coming in, more than likely would have taken Cisco's spot and everything because he's a smart guy and he's kind of the new naming dude on the baddies. So, yeah, but it's definitely sad to hear. But again, like I said, it goes to show you, it's gone now that these two big actors for the Flash have left. It's going to tell. It's essentially telling the people, look, the end for this show is coming, and it's coming probably sooner rather than later. Like, we're probably going to get only a few more seasons. I don't know if they're going to try to stretch it out to 10 seasons. I feel like that's going to be the thing. I feel like they can do it if maybe the actor that plays Caitlin doesn't leave. If she stays, I think she'll more than likely. I think they'll end the Flash at season 10. But I could honestly see her leaving after next season in season 8 and not returning to be a main cast member in season 9. But again, it goes to show you that it's like this show, like Supergirl, it's ending soon. Arrow, it ended last season. The Flash, probably arguably the biggest show on the CW. It's about to be over soon too. Not like relatively soon, but it's getting to the point where it's like, you know what? Most of the actors are probably gonna just wrap up and be like, you know what? It was fun, but I'm gonna want to move on to something else in my life. I want to get out there. I just don't want to come back every, part of the year to record The Flash or do The Flash and stuff like that. But yeah, it sucks to hear, but hey, they're actors. Most of these people want to do other things in their life and take their talents and contribute to either other movies or TV shows. And I don't blame them. You had a good run. Tom and Carlos had a really good run on this show. You can't deny about that. 7 seasons as a main cast member, it's pretty hard to do. Some people don't even some people usually, if it's an ongoing show, they usually leave by like season 5 or season 4s. Typically, you know, they don't stay this long. And again, it goes to all of the the actors for the Arrowverse. The fact that they committed all their time to doing all these shows for people to enjoy for how many freaking seasons they've done their shows. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. So if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of The Flash, as well as put in the comment section your thoughts on Carlos and Tom leaving The Flash. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you sad? Are you upset? Yada, yada, yada. Again, hit that subscribe button to get more Flash and other CW DC TV show content. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.